Local tribal nations now offering COVID vaccines to those 16 years of age and older. 5 News reporter Veronica Ortega spoke to representatives with the Cherokee and Choctaw nations to find out how far along they are with this vaccine distribution plan.
While in some parts of the country, COVID vaccine distribution continues to lag, tribal nations have moved quickly and efficiently through their plans.
Currently, we're in phase 3. Phase 3 is basically all individuals that are eligible for our services.
This includes certificate of degree of Indian blood members and members of household. Tribal nations are not bound by state vaccine distribution plans.
Choctaw Nation has their own phasing plan, and we've already advanced through our phases 1 through 5.
Both the Choctaw and Cherokee nations worked directly with the federal government's Indian Health Services Department to receive allotments of the Moderna and Pfizer vaccines. And the Cherokee Nation has had its first shipment of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
That being a one-dose vaccine is going to be helpful for us. We have had some challenges because of our rural nature of our reservation to be able to meet the needs of some of our homebound patients.
The Choctaw Nation has taken advantage of mass vaccination clinics. A recent event in Poteau inoculated 900 people in one day.
We have given in excess of over 17,000 vaccines to this point. We've had a little over 11,000 of our population have been completely vaccinated and received both doses.
The Cherokee Nation is even further along. They've been able to vaccinate more than 28,500 people.
We have the capacity to get up to 2,500 a day to give as our allocations have increased. Currently, we are at about 1,500 open appointments per day.
Members still have to call ahead or go online to make an appointment for the vaccine. And while variants of the coronavirus are starting to spread across the country, the goal for tribal nations is to get as many people vaccinated as possible.
It's to protect yourself and your loved ones. And as we all know, this is a disease that affects those that are older and that are most vulnerable.
In Tahlequah, covering news where you live, Veronica Ortega, 5 News.
For Cherokee and Choctaw Nation members that want to make an appointment for the vaccine, we have more information about that on our website at 5newsonline.com.
Students are speaking out tonight after another rape is reported on the University of Arkansas campus in Fayetteville. It's the 4th rape since the start of the new year. 5 News reporter Veronica Ortega has that story.
The rainy weather cast a gray shadow on the University of Arkansas Fayetteville, where students are learning about another reported rape on campus.
No one should be afraid to be living on campus, or no freshmen should be afraid to be living in Maple.
The University of Arkansas police say it happened in the Maple Hill East dorm on January 21st. The rape was reported more than a month later on March 3rd.
Kind of disgusting. Really, you're gonna take advantage of people. And it's sad. It's you don't hear about it. It's not advertised, not necessarily advertised, but it's just not talked about. And I think it's something, it's with safety, and that's not right.
According to Captain Gary Crane, the victim and suspect are both 18 years old. He says they knew each other and were interacting socially before the assumed crime was committed.
I mean, it's unacceptable, number one. Did I hear about it? No, which is probably a problem.
A statement put out by the university after the 3rd incident and obtained by 5 News faced some backlash from students who say it used victim-blaming language.
Something needs to change. You need to keep students safe. You have a responsibility as a university and as students to keep each other safe.
Soon after the university issued that previous statement, they released another one apologizing that said in part, never would the university want anyone to feel responsible for a crime committed against them. The university strongly condemns sexual violence. The 4th incident follows 3 others. 2 were reported to have happened in January, one at Maple Hill South and the other at Hotz Hall. The 3rd was in early February at Bud Walton Hall. All cases are under investigation. 2 have been turned over to a prosecutor for review.
It has to do with the university holding people accountable and maybe changing policies. As a student body, changing the culture of we want to support these people and believe them and just show them love.
In Fayetteville, covering news where you live, Veronica Ortega, 5 News.
Now, we reached out to the university for comment on this 4th incident on campus. They have yet to issue a response to our request. Thanks. New tonight, a Springdale chiropractor and nurse practitioner is fighting for his life in the intensive care unit after contracting COVID-19 and has spent the past 2 weeks on a ventilator. 5 News reporter Bailey Devane spoke with his family and gives us an update on his condition tonight. Bailey?
That's right, 14 days on a ventilator, and now Jessie Gardner is asking for prayers for her husband, Seth Garner, while he's in the hospital in Little Rock in critical condition. But tonight, the family received a new update. Garner came down with COVID-19 symptoms over 3 weeks ago, and his condition has only gotten worse from there. Garner was taken by medical helicopter to Little Rock after specialists said he needed to be put on an ECMO machine in St. Vincent because his symptoms were so severe. Garner had no pre-existing conditions.
He went from admitted to the worst possible. And so the decision was made that he needed to be life-flighted to St. Vincent. It's been a difficult transition. It's been hard on the kids. It's been hard on my sister, Jessie in particular. I mean, she's not fighting alone.
I spoke with Garner's sister-in-law, Allison Lee. She says as of tonight, Garner's lungs have improved, so doctors will be starting breathing treatments to prepare him for being taken off the ventilator. But the fight does not stop there. She says Garner's body suffered a lot of damage from the virus and being on a ventilator so long.
Very touchy situation that he gets off the ventilator and they want to try to reboost his brain and his lungs to do it on his own. I mean, it's touch and go. We don't know what's going to happen because if they have to revent him again, that's going to be more damage than anything.
Garner has served the city of Springdale for 20 years. He owns Advanced Healthcare on Old Missouri Road. His sister-in-law says since Garner primarily works outside of the clinic, he had still yet to receive his vaccine. Lee says many family, friends, and patients of Garner have been reaching out and sending prayers.
I mean, he's just one of those doctors that doesn't sleep until he figures out why he's doing the job that he's doing. And he picked this position in his lifestyle because he cares so much about human beings in itself.
In Springdale, covering news where you live, Bailey Devane, 5 News.
All right, Bailey, thanks. Family members say the Advanced Health Clinic in Springdale is closed while Garner is in the hospital, but family members are working to reschedule appointments.
The homicide of Fort Smith teenager Melissa Witt has been a mystery for decades and remains unsolved tonight. New tonight, Jordan Howington is in Fort Smith, where Witt's case continues to haunt the River Valley.
It's a haunting case J.C. Ryder refuses to let go. He was lead detective on Melissa Witt's 1994 homicide until he retired a few years ago.
She was going to come out because she was running low on money and have her mother to buy her a hamburger.
Ryder now volunteers his time on the case. He joined me to share Melissa's last moments in hopes someone 26 years later will finally come forward.
When you look at the bowling world right now, I mean, it's no different.
No, it's the only thing different is some of the lighting poles. The layout of the parking lot's the same, the building's still the same.
Melissa showed up here at Bowling World on a December 1994 evening to get the hamburger her mother promised. But she never made it inside. Her car was found in the bowling alley parking lot a few days after she was reported missing on a busy bowling league night. Police found a trail of blood not yet washed away by the misty rain.
The blood trail goes from the back of her car over to where the bad guy's car was parked at.
A couple of people even heard and saw a fight that night. However, no one was able to give police any descriptions. Police remain hopeful they'd find her.